Before Jonathan handed over power, all LGs in the northeast were recovered from Boko Haram, Rebello. Speaking in an interview on the Channels Television News Network with journalist Seun Okinbaloye, a former PDP chairman, Rebello Mohammed, stated and claimed that before Jonathan handed over power to President Buhari at the end of his 5-year tenure as president, all the local government areas in the northeastern region of the country were recovered from Boko Haram insurgency group. And when asked, Rebello said, "When APC got into power, I was going to tell you that we handed over an economy that's number one in Africa, and we didn't hand over insecurity outside the northeast. In fact, before President Jonathan handed over, all the local government that were taken by Boko Haram in the northeast were recovered. There was not a single local government under the control of Boko Haram." He made this statement as he discussed the rift between Atiku Abubakar and Governor Wike during the interview. Okay, so obviously this then comes out to, talk about or literally put APC in the mud, even more in the mud, because insecurity obviously worsened, and APC would obviously want to use the argument of, the state of the country that they were handed, when they got into the presidency. But the thing is, whatever state the country was handed in, they've had 8 years to turn it around, and that is more than enough time. So whether there was insecurity or not, it is still their job to fix whatever problem they find. But then now they can't even use the argument because, this individual, who obviously was a former PDP chairman, has come out to say, factually, not just even on the basis of what APC's responsibility is, just based on the fact, in the northeast, a lot of the local government areas that were taken over by Boko Haram were recovered before they were handed, or before they left office. That's the PDP. And so what can APC say to defend themselves? Even they can't. And if anything, however they will try to defend themselves, it would have to include disrespecting Nigerians' judgment in the process, and literally being so desperate that no matter what, even when we can see through the holes in their lies and we can see through all their tactics, they would still, out of desperation, make up anything to make themselves look good, even though it may not be the facts. So, yes. Who doesn't know that Boko Haram was brainchild of the present administration? Can one kill the child who he or she uses to attain relevancy? No condition is ever permanent. However, he who rides to power on the back of a tiger will of course end in the tiger's belly. Well, Boko Haram was created by PDP in their 16 years of misrule. There was nothing like Boko Haram in the time of military. Now, the problem is we're not trying to find solutions but blame. Why are we looking for blame? Because throughout the whole 16 years, so many things have happened. And at the end of the day, with Boko Haram and all that, yes, of course they had, over the years, they did grow relevant and they had the audacity to even carry out, more intense attacks. But the fact is, what has the country done with whoever has been in power to actually fix the issue? We haven't seen that. I haven't seen that. So what can we say about that exactly? So yes, whether whoever created it or not, what did they do to fix it? That is the problem. It's fixing the problem. Well, yes, my local government is included. GEJ has handed a peaceful Nigeria to this destroyer. So again, we have every right to hold APC accountable whether the country was given to them in a shambolic state. It's like, for example, let's say, hopefully Peter Obi wins this election, and then after the 4 years, he's saying, imagine how Buhari was so bad, APC was horrible, so you can't blame me for not having done anything. Well, that's the basis as to why you were employed and voted for in the first place. And again, security amongst other issues as well. I mean, we can't say in 2015 Nigeria was the most secure. Obviously, it was better than where it is now, but it's the same thing. How the reason why Buhari is in office is because no one wanted Jonathan, and they felt that, you know what, he'd be the one to solve the problem, not then give excuses after 8 years, not just one tenure, which, you know, anyways, people can argue whatever, how likely it is to make change in that time, but he had 8 years. There is no excuse. But an opposing opinion here states Laila Haliru Bello Mohammed is a liar and a shameless he-goat. If all local governments were covered by, why is that El Kainmi Warriors Football Club couldn't play their football match in Maiduguri? The Kainmi Warriors continued playing their football match in Bauchi from 2013 to 2021 when they recently returned to play their football match in Maiduguri. Okay, this doesn't say anything. PDP, APC, I guess this person's obviously going to come for PDP because they mentioned PDP thieves. But your point is not really, it's not really as strong as you intended. Anyways, point of the matter, or the actual issue, is that the whole point is this administration, APC, has been unable to, you know, do anything. To be honest, I don't think nothing good has come out of this administration for the past 8 years. And the PDP obviously have the upper hand to start running their lips because, well, they're not the ones under scrutiny and questioned, because at the end of the day, they can say, you know what, you said we were doing bad and that is why you put APC there in the first place. But I think what Nigerians must also understand that in the grand scheme of things, we shouldn't also fall for the, you know, the guise of competition that both APC and PDP choose to perform for us, because really they are doing the same thing. I mean, yes, you know, they decamp, listen, they are literally the same party. If you can't see it, I don't know how else to explain it. If you can't see that APC and PDP are the same, then I don't know how you're seeing the country or you think would be the best way to change it, because it is. We don't need any of them at all. And because the only option that we have with the big names is Peter Obi, it doesn't have to be Peter Obi, but if you eliminate Atiku and Tinubu, then that's what you get. But if anything, we can also have options, and we should not be desperate. Yes, we are desperate for the country to change, but we're also desperate to just remove PDP out of government, out of power so bad that then, you know, we've gotten APC. But not that it's bad. I think what a greater problem, you know, that lies is the fact that even when a presidency or the government itself, administration, is misbehaving, what power do the people have? How can we, for example, if this individual needs to be, you know, be tried or needs to go on trial because of missing funds or, you know, not paying salaries or, you know, not taking care of hospitals, like how can the people hold? We need accountability in our system that is outside those in the system, and that the people can also have power as well. That is also what we need, because again, no matter who we put there, even if Peter Obi ends up being there, we also need to find a way to hold him accountable if he does anything out of line. Put what you think about this in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.